there, my name is Daphne Sant Caruana. I am the Principal Curator for the Ġgantija Archaeological Park, and today I will be talking to you about one of my favorite artifacts, which is a Neolithic ceramic sherd decorated with a flying bird's design. The ceramic fragment used to form part of a carinated pot which dates to the late Neolithic, making it roughly 5,000 years old. It was discovered quite by accident in 1954. At the time, attempts were being made to locate a curious megalithic structure below the terrace wall of Ġgantija that featured prominently an important early 19th century watercolor by Charles Brockdorff. The doorway was never located, however, their efforts were rewarded by the discovery of this very unique ceramic sherd. To me, it is of special significance due to its distinctive design, which is so different from the typical motifs that decorate the Neolithic pottery in our collection. Also because it captures so effectively the idea of a flock of birds flying in perfect synchrony. What we see, the decoration, consists of 3 parallel rows of flying birds, and if we had to look closer, we would notice that the lower birds are distinctly larger and more deeply incised than the ones above. And to create a greater artistic effect and a deeper contrast, the grooves are filled with a white paste. Apart from its obvious aesthetic value, I think that this sherd brings into sharper focus the connection that people in the Neolithic had of the natural world. They had a very sophisticated understanding of the environment, of the resources that were available to them. And this understanding was important because they were farmers and their livelihood depended on it. I think that this sherd shows that the people at the time had a very refined sensitivity and a very keen sense of observation. And these were values that were essential to sustain these communities for such a long period of time. They are values which they are still important to us today. However, unfortunately, their relevance is from time to time losing its value. Although the design is highly stylized, we are still able to make an informed decision about the particular species of bird that is being represented. In fact, the prominent crest and the short, pointed tail suggest that this might have been the northern lapwing, which is a bird that migrates over the Maltese Islands over the winter months. Here, one might suggest that the choice for the specific design wouldn't have been purely aesthetic, but it might have held a symbolic significance. We know, as we've mentioned earlier, that these were farmers, so weather and the seasonal changes would have been important. They would have been of vital consequence to agriculture, and therefore the migration of birds could have served as a signal, as a marker that would have helped them to mark these changes in the seasonal cycles. The fact that this sherd was discovered at Ġgantija, an important focal point for this farming community, where we believe that these seasonal cycles would have been celebrated, leads us to think that this spot would have had a ceremonial rather than a domestic use. I find it so remarkable that such a small artifact could tell us so much about people and to some extent even their values. It is truly a special artifact that is so artistic and at the same time it has such a timeless quality.